Howdy YouTube, today we're taking a look at a series of packages that have arrived for me. Essentially, these are some Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I purchased, really keen to get these opened up and out of packaging. The first ones we're going to start with are some Japanese promo cards that have not been released in the West just yet. And here we have Duja, the Meteoricubic Seed. Really excited to get my hands on this guy. A Kaiba Corp promo exclusive. So, some background, we had the Dark Side of Dimensions, or whatever the name of the new movie is. Those cards came out. You can see my unboxing on my channel of all of those. And they were really cool. I mean, they were some seriously nice-looking cards, but they didn't give us, out of all the cubic cards, the most important one. And that is, of course, the cards used by the main villain to basically use the cubic deck. So to give you guys a run through on how the deck basically works, you have this ridiculously OP Crimson Nova fusion monster. Then you have a series of other cubic cards. If you play the cubic cards as they are supposed to be used or as they're intended to be played, then you start with Vinjam, and he's a level 1 cubic. The rest of the cubic monsters all basically operate based on sacrificing lower level cubic monsters. So you tribute a level 1 to summon a level 2. You tribute 2 level 2s to summon a level 3, and so on and so forth. And then you have a series of cards that basically are searcher cards, like Cubic Karma. And those help you bring out the bigger beast-type cubic monsters. But a key searcher is, of course, Duja. And we didn't get him in the English sets, which to me is a little bit weird. That makes me think that when the movie comes out, they're going to release him as a promo. So in the meantime, I guess just to play a cubic deck, I kind of really needed this guy. I was able to pick 3 of these up from a friend of mine in Japan, which is really awesome and really cool. If we take a look at the back of the packaging here, we see it is part of the movie pack, Dark Side of Dimensions. The card itself is a common card, a Kaiba Corp common, so it is, I guess, slightly different to a normal common, but at the same time, nothing special. The movie came out in Japan a little while ago, as you can see there. And then we've got Vijim or Vinjam and some of the other cubic cards. So with that, let's get these opened up and out of packaging. And there we go. So here we've got all 3 cards. One thing that is interesting to note, yes, they are common, but hopefully if you see, I'm not sure how well it'll come across, you get little glimpses of it. The card is like laced. Well, there we go. Hopefully you guys are seeing that on the camera. The card is laced with like a, almost looks like in the show when they put the cards down on the dueling deck and they get the lines over them. That's what it looks like. Hopefully you can see on the picture there. And that's pretty sick. I really like the color scheme in there and that added effect. It's not shiny, it looks normal, and then when you turn it, you have something bonus. So really cool. What does this guy do? He does a number of things. Basically, when you summon him, you get to search your deck for any cubic card, and you can add that to your hand, which is really good in particular if you want to start off playing cubics with Vinjam, or if you're trying to build a fusion deck, which I am, revolving around Crimson Nova. You basically play this guy, you can add him to your hand. Alternatively, you can actually discard a card when he's summoned to your graveyard. So what you would do is discard Cubic Karma, and that allows you to search your deck and add a cubic card to your hand. So pretty decent. You can also target some of the cubic cards in your graveyard, and by banishing them, this guy gains some additional attack. So not too bad. Keen to get my hands on an English version. The artwork on him isn't awful. I mean, I really love, personally, the artwork of the cubic cards. I think they look excellent. Like, take a look at Crimson Nova here. He looks fantastic. Even the spell and trap cards, like Cubic Rebirth, Cubic Karma, they all look outstanding, I think. So I'm a big fan of the artwork behind these cards. Hopefully, the villain is decent in the movie. In, I guess, especially the first Yu-Gi-Oh movie, I think the villain was pretty bad. He was only in it for 5 minutes or so, but hopefully the cubic cards make a good appearance and are pretty strong. So, awesome. Let's open up some of the other packages we've got in the mail. Okay, so let's open this up. That was a pretty big fail in terms of opening. What have we got? A stack of cards. Check this out. So, a little bit of a spoiler. Most of these cards are used for two types of decks. One is a cubic deck that I'm building, and two is actually a Toon deck, which I'm building. So let's check some of these out. Love the Toon cards. I remember watching the show as a kid. I was always a big fan of Pegasus. Love Relinquished and Thousand Eyes Restrict. And just the Toon cards in general. I thought they were really cool looking. All right, so let's see what we've got here. We start off with Ancient Gear Golem. 3000 attack is pretty beast. Toon Rollback. Nice. Couple of those. Polymerization. Again, can use these for any number of things, in particular either the cubic deck, so those three, and then a Toon deck, which is those three. What sort of Toon fusion monster exists, you might ask? Well, the one I'm referring to there is actually the Bickery Box fusion monster. White Stone of Ancients, that's to help us bring out Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. Crass Clown, one of the fusion material monsters that is needed. Barrel Behind the Door is for our cubic deck. With Crimson Nova, the Dark Cubic Lord, basically, at the end of each turn, both players take 3,000 life points damage, and this card sort of negates that and turns it back onto your opponent, so you're dealing 6,000 damage. It's pretty much an OTK, so that's why we've got that card in there. Summoner Monk is to help us bring stuff out as part of our cubic deck. Red Eyes Toon Dragon. We've got a couple of him. Again, part of our Toon deck, we're going to be using the Black Stone of Legend as well to help bring this card out reasonably quick. Why this card as opposed to other Toon monsters? He doesn't need Toon World to be on the field. Advanced Ritual Art is just kind of a fun card I've got there for another deck that I'm building. Ceasefire again to help us with our cubics, and also for just in general some of the decks that I've got. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this review, a whole mix of cards, a whole series of things. Hopefully I'll get some deck profiles up for you guys soon. If you've liked this video, feel free to like it or subscribe for more. Lots of cool videos coming up soon.